Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list, market talk, a little bit of news for the 20th of February. Let's go and take a look. First thing I wanted to bring to your attention. Let's take a look at the SPY volume today. Not that volume pays, but it was this kind of a day. 57 million. I'll round up. We're still today. We're below the 20 SMA here on our volume. Bars and Friday, you had big volume come in, so we get sporadic buying. Friday big volume came in, and then today was a lackluster kind of volume day on the SPY. So we'll see what tomorrow, Wednesday, brings. Kind of a vacation week for folks. Monday the markets were closed. A lot of people going off on ski trips and warmer weather trips. So even myself, I got away for a few days. So the SPY today, you can see here on the candle, a minor, a pop up and a minor pullback as we get ever closer, closer to that 2800 spot on the SPX, 280 on the SPY, and we've been as high as 281.10 or so, but 280 is the round number. So a lot of traders are watching that number. And with this V bottom, and then you had that kind of fear of missing out the gains here. So panic buying came in on Friday, but today the market starts off the week on a positive note, but up slightly. Right, the Dow Jones was up 8, the S&P up 4, Nasdaq up 14. We're up at this overhead resistance area on the SPY. We've had a big run. It seems like the investors are putting on the brakes right now, not wanting to put on too much risk, especially after that run on Friday. If we look at the 5-minute chart of the SPY, here was the close on the SPY. So a little bit of selling came into the close here. We got up to this 278.50 area, and then we slowly, sold off into the close. Let's see, China and the U.S. Trade talk still is going on. Senior officials believe they start showing up on Thursday, so we could get a little more interesting as we go further into the week here on Thursday when those senior officials start coming to the meetings. Trump tweeted out today as far as the trade talk. March 1st is not set as a deadline, that coming from Trump, so maybe softening up a little bit there on the trade talk. Just go over, some of the news that came out today, right, during the morning session. Medtronics came out with earnings this morning, and Walmart had earnings this morning. So a big move up, big gap up here in Walmart, and we'll look at Medtronics, who also had earnings. They popped up, and then this one kind of fizzled off. And Walmart, same thing. They popped it up to about this 105 area, and then it slowly kind of just faded off and bled off for the rest of the day with Walmart. So that was a couple of bigger earnings that came out during the morning time. The big gainer here for the day was gold. Gold itself was up 1.5%. GLD, JNUG flying today, up 12% for the day. Solar stocks got some buying. We talked about them on the video last night on the Sunday night video. I talked about VSLR, First Solar, so those did pretty well. VXI, China ETF, there was some call activity in the VXI today, so that was up a little under 1.5%. UNG, Nat Gas up a little over 1%. KWEB, which is the China Internet ETF, that was up a little under 1.5% for the day. And then to the downside, the things you want to see moving down were moving down. The dollar was moving down a little bit, and that caused gold to move up. The marijuana ETF was down fractionally today. The SMH was also down fractionally. Some of the sectors for today that were up, the XME, metals and mining sector, with gold moving up. FCX had a very very nice day today. They got an upgrade today, FCX. I believe that was up 6% for the day. Yeah, up over 6% on the day on FCX. So metals and mining were up, utilities were up a little bit, fractionally on everything else. To the downside, XBI was down today. The biotech still below the 200 SMA here, down a little over 1% for the day. And so that was pretty much the market today. The Dow Jones stocks, Walmart was your big winner today, up 2.21% on the day. Procter & Gamble was making new highs, closed a penny under $100 on Procter & Gamble, up 1.5% for the day. Some top stocks that were moving up. Some of the China names were moving up. Momo was up over 7% on the day, and you can kind of see the other ones there. To the downside today, you had Electronic Arts down almost 4% on the day in the S&P 500. To the downside, this ALLE was down almost 4% on the day. And then to the upside, FCX was up almost 7% on the day on that name. Down over in the NASDAQ, WIN was up over 3% for the day. JD.com was up almost 3% on the day. Netflix was up almost 1.5%. Baidu had a good day today. To the downside, Electronic Arts, Lulu, LULU, they got downgraded today. I believe it was by Nomura. So this one was down over 2% on the day for LULU. So last night on the video, I showed you the Bitcoin chart, BTC USD. If you go out there to tradingview.com, you could type in that symbol and you get the Bitcoin. Now, there's a bunch of other cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to get into all of them, but if you go to TradingView, you could pretty much see all the different cryptocurrencies. Well, we've had a nice bounce in cryptocurrencies, and the reason I'm showing you this is because a lot of the crypto stocks were moving up today, and I'll show you some of those in a few moments. Before we get into our watch list, let's take a look at some of the news that came out after the bell tonight. Rare had an earnings per share and revenue beat, so that stock was moving up a bit. A biotech name. OSPN earnings per share, revenue beat. This stock gapping in the after hours software application. Now this has been a very strong sector, so they had an earnings per share and revenue beat here. The stock was halted, came out of halt, and holding up very nicely in the after hours here on OSPN. Some other stocks that came out after the bell, you had TILE earnings per share beat, revenue miss. We'll go through some others. Texas Roadhouse earnings per share and revenue beat, TXRH, and this one popped up, and then I think they had their conference call later in the evening, and so this one is moving down on that name. FANG, which is an oil stock. Diamondback Energy misses by 40 cents, misses on revenue for FANG. This stock moving down in the after hours tonight. We'll scroll through, and you can always pause the video if you want to see some of these. SNNA, they're doing an offering. SNNA, this stock gapping, moving down in the after hours. HLF came out with earnings, and they're guiding lower on HLF. The stock popped up, then pulled back when the guidance came out. They were earnings per share beat and revenue miss for HLF. Let's see, Nordic American Tankers missed by 9 cents, missed on revenues. Lazy Boy, I believe that is, LZB. Let's check it out. Yeah, so LZB popping up, earnings per share and revenue beat after hours on Lazy Boy. So that one doing well in the after hours. We'll keep scrolling along. If anything stands out, I'll mention it because there has been a lot of, I guess, kind of tier two companies reporting earnings. So let's see, VICL to discontinue clinical development of one of their products here, one of their therapies, as it considers near-term strategic alternatives. Now, I believe it was halted, VICL. Looks like they opened it up and they drove it down to about 80 cents and then moved it back up on Vickle. So it's an under $1 name. So that's some of your news, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. A lot of earnings came out, smaller companies coming out, and so if you want to see that, just pause the video and you can see those for yourself. Some unusual call activity that we had today. NEO stands out to me. U.S. Steel, HIMX. They had earnings this morning, HIMX. So the stock sold off. A nice recovery here in HIMX. It's a semiconductor name. And this had call activity, so they reversed that back up. NEO, NIO, the China, I guess it's supposed to be the Tesla of China, but not much reaction to that call activity. And the reason I look at call activity is just because it gives me some idea generation. I don't just buy it because, you know, it had call activity. People buy puts and calls for many different reasons, but it gives me, you know, a starting point just to take a look at some stocks. A Target had some call activity. On the put side, we had CCJ, ASNA, some that stand out there for some unusual put activity, and that once again courtesy of the Trade Exchange. So PCG had a very good day today. This one was up almost 15% on the day. Citigroup upgraded this stock, PCG. They gave it a $33 price target. You know, they kind of said that the stock was worth $66, but then they factored in some of the liabilities, future wildfires, the current wildfires. So they came up with this price target from Citigroup on PCG, Pacific Gas and Electric, of $33 per share. So that one moved that one up nicely for the day on PCG. That came out, some news that came out this morning on that stock. So let's go ahead and get into the watch list. I won't keep you too long. So one of them I'll be watching again is AMD. Let me go to my other chart. So AMD, you know, you have that 2450 area up ahead. So keep an eye on AMD. BABA finally getting over this 170 area and the 200 SMA. So BABA might be interesting. You know, some of the China names we're getting some buying. I do believe Baidu has their earnings coming up. Bank America, you know, keeping an eye on this bank. It has that $30 area up ahead. Maybe if it can get up over, you know, 29.40 or so, 29.30 for Bank America, we might get a move. Let's just take a quick look at some of the other banks. You know, Citigroup basing under the 200 SMA there. JP Morgan moving up, and then one regional bank, Zion. So they've had big runs, but I'm watching Bank America. It's been kind of consolidating here. After their earnings, they gapped it up. So keep an eye on Bank America. That's kind of my favorite in the group right now. This little small oil stock, BRS, big expanding volume in this name. Had some difficulty at around $1.75, a small pullback. Maybe keep it on watch, possible continuation. Cronus, CRON, this is holding up the best out of the cannabis names. Has that $22 area. ACB not faring as well. APHA, you know, holding up okay, but CRON looks better. CGC, let's take a look at that. You know, holding the 5. EMA here on CGC, but CRON looks stronger. NBEV is another cannabis name. That one is below the 10 SMA on NBEV, so I'll stick with CRON. Seems to be the leader of the group. TLRY, Tilray, kind of quiet right now. The other one that I'll be watching in the cannabis space is this PYX. Did get up over this $24 area. So PYX, be watching that one for moves for tomorrow and the next few days. EGAN, EGAN, flagging here. Popped as high as 12 and change, holding under this 1175 spot, but is holding this 5 EMA, the yellow dotted line you see here, and holding above 11. Software application sector, so we'll keep an eye on that. FCEL, not a favorite of this one intraday. But after hours, they are popping it up again. Closed at 75 cents. Got as high as 90 cents here on FCEL. So I'll watch it tomorrow. We'll see if something sets up. We talked about the solar stocks yesterday. FSLR made a nice move up today. VSLR also will be on watch again for tomorrow. So keep your eye on First Solar. Looks interesting here, starting to get up over the 200 SMA. HIMX, we'll see if there's any kind of continuation move in this name. Some of the China names looked a little bit better. HUYA could be a possible mover for tomorrow. IQ looks a little bit better on that name. Let me see if there's any others that I'm looking at as far as China stocks. QTT, a little bit of a pullback here. Now it's had a big run, so we'll keep an eye on it. PDD was one that we talked about on the video last night. PDD, a China name, specialty retailer. Nice move up on PDD. We'll see if it maybe pulls back a little bit, gives us a setup. What else? And you might want to watch some of these for swing trades too. I am a day trader and swing trader in my service, so we do both. INSG, nice turn here. We talked about this one yesterday, 5G network build out. It's involved in that, so nice move up today. Keep an eye on it. IPI, takeover chatter around this name. They had this big move up. We're holding above the 200 SMA. Possible swing trade in this name. There is unconfirmed chatter in that name. Some of the Bitcoin stocks that we traded today, Mara gave a small trade. Keep that one on watch for tomorrow. Riot also gave a nice trade today for us. We got in this thing like at $3.03 or so. Popped almost up to $4.24 on Riot. Some other Bitcoin blockchain stocks. NXTD is one you want to keep on your radar for tomorrow. 1.5 million shares came into NXTD. NETE is another one that popped up today. 500,000 shares in this one. XNet is another one that we traded in the service today. Almost 8 million shares on this name. So I don't know if these are going to do anything tomorrow, but I would keep them on watch for the next few days. Maybe they need a little rest after the run up today. Let's see what some other ones. Grow is another cryptocurrency play. You see that one popped up. The volume was about over 300,000 shares, so a little bit light in the volume on Grow. Let's see. GCAP is another crypto name. That one popping up today. Low volume though on GCAP. So those are some of the crypto names. Obviously, Overstock is a crypto name. Had a very good day. We traded this one in the room. It's not an easy intraday trader. It never could get up over what was it, 2050 for me, and then I bailed on it, and then finally Yeah, it was actually, yeah, 2150. So I got in this thing, it was moving up and it could never get through 2150. So I bailed on it, and then later on in the session, finally got up over this 2150 for the nice move up. But I missed this. But I caught Riot and XNet, so I can't complain too much. Solo, SOLO, will be on watch. A lot of fits and starts in this one right now. Maybe the story's over in that one. Maybe it needs a rest. PYX, like we talked about. SPN, Superior Energy, had a nice day, big volume. 8 million shares came into this name on SPN. There was one that moved up, a small stock, MRAM. This one, big move up, got up to 750, all the way from 625. I couldn't find any news on this name. Semiconductor memory, so a big pop in this name today. 400,000, over 400,000 shares, maybe a little bit light on the volume on that one. OSPN will be on watch for tomorrow. They had their earnings come out, so that one will be on watch. I think that's about it. That's some good names for you. Oh, Watt, WATT. Getting up around this $10 area. We actually traded this one in the service today. We put it in the room at around $9.30, and it climbed up to about 9.75 on a Watt. Now, it's not the highest volume trading stock. Today it came in at 1 million and did in the after hours hold this $10 area, WATT. So maybe you want to keep an eye on that one also. All right, so that's basically the watch list for tomorrow. The next couple of days, we'll be out with another video tomorrow. Just to in closing, we'll take a look at some of the bigger names. Tesla, not really much going on there today. Netflix and FLX had a good day today, holding up. Netflix out of the FANG names looks the best. Facebook, battling that 200 SMA, the green line, the green moving average you see here on Facebook. Amazon, not really much going on today. Quiet day. Google, another kind of quiet day on the FANG names. So not much to go on there. NVIDIA, battling here on NVIDIA. I could go either way, like I said in last night's video, long or short on NVIDIA. So whatever sets up right now, it's just kind of holding this 5 EMA, the yellow dotted line you see on my daily chart. All right, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com.